you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, anything you may be celebrating. Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show live on YouTube Monday through Friday, starting at noon Pacific time. And hello to everybody that watches the show after we record it. I appreciate all of you very, very much. And of course, we'll start off with a big thank you to our exclusive founding sponsor, Steve Moskowitz, who will join us later on in the show. He is the guy to call for any of your tax needs, accounting needs, HR needs. You don't want to deal with the IRS? Give Steve a call, 888-TAX-DEAL or MoskowitzLLP.com. You can tell by my little get up over here that this is our holiday show, our Christmas show. We will not have a show tomorrow or on Monday. I will be back on Tuesday. Very excited for today's show. Because we've been trying to do a Friday food segment. I like all kinds of food segments, so send me your ideas. But we're going to do it today instead of tomorrow because we're not having a show tomorrow. And I'm sure you guys can tell by this little box right here. It's a little rectangle pink box that I'm going to be doing some crumble cookie taste tests. I've not had crumble cookies since really they first launched in San Jose where I live. They're pretty good, but I have different kinds. They have a holiday one. They have an eggnog one, which is the one that I really want to try. So we'll try it on air and I'll let you know if it's worth it. Thank you to everybody that's already in the chat room. Yes, please click that thumbs up button. It helps us expand the show, get seen in other places. I look at the analytics for this show and Kim's husband looks at it. We have people all over the world that watch this show. It's pretty cool. India, it's crazy the reach that it can have. And that's because of YouTube kind of sharing the show and because of all of your likes. So click the thumbs up. It helps us out. We have had the super chat that is up and running. And I know so many of you choose to donate to the show that way. So if you're in the live chat, just look for that $sign and you could donate even if you're watching the recording of the show, and you could throw some money our way and we really appreciate it. I share it with Kim and we keep the show going that way. And of course, the biggest way to support us is of course through our Patreon. Become a monthly subscriber. It's consistent money for us. Now, of course, you can end your subscription. I don't want you to, but it's always your right to do that. And we appreciate you guys as long as you are a supporter of the show. And I hope it's forever. It's for as long as we host the show. So just go to the NikkiMedoro.show.com and there you will find a link to our Patreon. Also, you will find a link. There's a direct one, but to our merchandise site. Now that's where you go directly, the Nikki Medoro shop.com. And you can find merchandise like this cup, this t-shirt. We also have a small logo t-shirt. We have a tote bag. I'm working on some new merch. There's going to be a hoodie pretty soon. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. Another thing that I'll probably try to get done while I'm off a couple of days for the holidays. And yeah, so I really appreciate all of you. As far as PayPal, I do want to let you guys know we did receive a PayPal donation. I'm actually pausing it right now. I know Suanne, I'm going to give Suanne a big shout out right now. She did donate to the PayPal. It appears that I can get the money actually to us from PayPal, but we're just figuring it out. And she's kind of our taste. I'm not going to lose the money. I'll be able to get it, but there's some hoops and confirmations. And I'm telling you, as a radio girl, as a media girl, trying to do the business end of this, but that's our PayPal email address that you can reach out to us. You can email me. You can do the PayPal donations there, but we're just trying to work it out, different ways for you guys to financially support the show. And I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so it's going to be a holiday kind of based show. We will, in a few moments, though, we have to touch on Ukrainian President Zelensky's speech yesterday. I'll play a couple of clips, some reaction. Some of it's surprising. I think that, and I was listening to Mark Thompson earlier. I was also on with Chip Franklin on his show, What the Franklin, that starts at 9 o'clock Pacific time. And it's on YouTube, so you can listen to it and watch it anytime you want to. But differing opinions about it. Chip was saying that it brought a tear to his eye. I know that Mark has his concerns about how long this is going to go and the money involved in all of this. And you guys can let me know in the chat. I mean, did you even watch the speech? I mean, some people are comparing it to Churchill speeches and things like that. We are, as always, living through these moments, these huge moments in history. And, at the beginning of the Ukrainian war against Russia, there was so much support. But as things go on and months are going to, in a couple of months, it's going to be a year. It was February of this year that this war began. Think about how long these Ukrainians have been fighting when Putin just thought it'd be over. So I'll play a couple clips with some reaction. You guys tell me what you think. Also coming up today, we're going to, like I mentioned, do a Friday food segment. And we have a couple of food stories. One that actually has to do with crumble, which I'm going to be taste testing in a little bit. Also, do you suffer from a food allergy? Is that allergy sesame? Apparently, it is moving up on the list of the most common food allergies that are so severe you need an EpiPen. Well, food manufacturers are trying to get around possible lawsuits by labeling almost everything as having possible sesame in it. Now, do you think this is fair? Because obviously, if you have a food allergy, you're going to look at the label. And if it says there could be any sort of cross-contamination or sesame in it, you won't eat it. But if everything starts containing sesame, what do you eat? So we'll touch on that. You guys tell me. And then in the next hour, I need to link it to my social media feeds, and maybe I'll do it during Kim's news. There was an LA Times investigation into a specific YouTube child star. Now, I'm new to the YouTube world. I am well aware of the type of money and the number of kids. My kids watch some of these. They watch this family. I think they're in Australia. My daughter loves watching them. And these kids are raking in the dough. But this LA Times investigation is really concerning. And it's another question of, if these kids want to be part of the video and you're making a lot of money, at what point do child labor laws come into it? And where does jealousy and greed come into it? So we'll get into that in the next hour. We will, of course, be following holiday travel. My brother is flying in today with my niece and nephew. And so I'm hoping, I think they have a direct flight, so I don't think that they should be impacted, but there are a ton of flight delays. So if you have family coming in today or tomorrow, you're going to want to keep that in mind. And then finally, I'm still looking again for my white elephant gift. I know I said I was going to get one thing, the squatty potty, not getting that, simply because one, it's kind of big. And if my family, my brother, my sister-in-law win it, I don't want this to be a gigantic thing. So I'm looking for something smaller. And I want to talk about, because I've been thinking, the lottery ticket white elephant gift and the winners and losers. And how would you feel if you created this white elephant lottery ticket like Christmas tree that I've seen pictures on, and you give it to somebody and they hit it big? I mean, just you tell me. I asked my husband this question last night, and I'll tell you what he said. But you guys will tell me, and we'll talk about this in the next hour. It's one of those kind of dangers of giving lottery tickets. And I know the lottery is huge right now, once again. So do you give it knowing that you could be the biggest loser ever in giving lottery tickets as a white elephant gift? So a fun show coming up, but let's of course talk, and we always like to, with kind of some harder news. And of course, the big news today is about President Zelensky's speech. I am a supporter of what the Ukrainian people are trying to do. I don't believe this is something where the United States, as a world leader, can walk away from. That is, and I'm not even going to call it a burden, but that is the responsibility of being a country of our stature, right? And our importance and our money. And I know there's concerns about how much money we're sending, but what would happen if we didn't support this effort? Let me play a little bit of President Zelensky's speech. And I mean, there's so many that have been going around. But here's a little bit of it. And again, I mean, I remember our old colleague Clark was at Station X, was talking about this online, and he's, I think, said it best, like, he really knows how to address the American people. So here again is a little bit of President Zelensky's speech.
Is too interconnected and interdependent to allow someone to stay aside and at the same time to feel safe when such a battle continues. Our two nations are allies in this battle. And next year will be a turning point. I know it, the point when Ukrainian courage and American resolve must guarantee the future of our common freedom, the freedom of people who stand for their values.
And of course, let me just pause it there. I mean, there was just the applause from those in Congress was constant. Let me read some of the comments coming in. From Debbie, Zelensky has more integrity and decency in his pinky finger than most of the GOP in Congress. I'm not thrilled with more money for war and defense spending, but what Putin is doing there is criminal. Exactly. He's not going to stop there. If Putin never thought, and I'll play you some more reaction to Zelensky's speech, but time and again, I think the world was shocked by what the Ukrainian people have done. And I can get emotional talking about it. I'm just emotional. It's the holidays. Think about this. Think about it. It kind of echoes our own war and starting the United States of America and fighting Britain, right? You think Britain thought this scrappy little new country that wasn't even a country was going to be able to fight against them? But it's a different world now. And that is what Zelensky was constantly saying. Let me play a little bit more of Zelensky again. This is his speech before Congress yesterday. And he knows what he's asking. You know what I mean? He knows that it takes a lot of money, and he knows how important that speech was yesterday. So here again is Ukrainian President Zelensky.
I know that everything depends on us, on Ukrainian armed forces, yet so much depends on the world. So much in the world depends on you. When I was in Bakhmut yesterday, our heroes gave me the flag, the battle flag, the flag of those who defend Ukraine, Europe, and the world at the cost of their lives. They asked me to bring this flag to you, to the U.S. Congress, to members of the House of Representatives and senators whose decisions can save millions of people. So let these decisions be taken. Let this flag stay with you, ladies and gentlemen. This flag is a symbol of our victory in this war. We stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
And there again, that's the flag that he gave that Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris, the vice president and outgoing House Speaker, are holding behind him, which is huge, And I think that he did, if anyone was, on the fence about whether we should keep helping the Ukrainian people, I think that speech was very powerful. Now, again, Jake Tapper of CNN was reacting to this speech along with a political analyst, Jim Sciutto. And talking kind of how Putin there on the right must be taking this all in.
He thought that this war was going to be over in 24 hours. He thought Zelensky by now would have been abandoned and killed. And instead, Vladimir Zelensky is Time Magazine's Person of the Year, being greeted as a hero by a bipartisan group of the House and Senate. I mean, I don't have much sympathy for Vladimir Putin in any day, but he's not having a good night.
No, and he's watching. Certainly, he's watching not just the speech, but he's watching this joining of the minds and of the nations in this war between Ukraine and a fellow superpower in the U.S. And that's quite a moment with many consequences beyond it. Passionate, full of shared purpose. This is not just our war. It is a war with the U.S. for the free world, and deliberately addressing the American people. The first people he talked to were the people at home, saying that I hope that this resonates in each American heart. And that's deliberate, I believe, to bring everybody in and say that this is our battle. It's not some distant war. It's a battle you can relate to. And then all those historical comparisons to our war of independence, not accidental, just as you said going in, that he does this deliberately, right, to bring the audience on his side.
Yeah, I feel like there is an effort, and thank you to Michelle Crocker, and I'll be doing some shout outs with the super stickers. You guys are really generous today, but Michelle Crocker writes, Putin has to be pissed because no one wants to be his friend. Putin's pissed because he thought this S would be over by now. And again, that is what the Ukrainian people know. He's not going to stop there. And so if we, as the world, don't stand up to Russia, they'll just continue stomping their way through. You can't give up. I don't see how this ends. I wouldn't trust Russia as far as I could throw them. And that's the fear, is if Ukraine does start to let its guard down a bit, what can happen? Now let me play, I think one more clip. Now this was former Secretary of State and First Lady Hillary Clinton talking with CNN's Anderson Cooper about Zelenskyy's speech. And also where our money and resources are, of course, going, because the money, I think, is where a lot of people are concerned. How long does this go? Here again is Anderson Cooper with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
I thought it was extraordinary, Anderson. It was, as others have said, rousing and inspiring. It also touched all the chords. It connected the struggle of Ukrainian people to our own revolution, to our own feelings that we want to be warm in our homes to celebrate Christmas, and to get us to think about all the families in Ukraine that will be huddled in the cold, and to know that they are on the front lines of freedom right now. They're fighting. Their cause is our cause. And I was thrilled to see the very positive response from the Congress. I also thought that the meeting between President Zelensky and President Biden was substantive and very positive, along with their press conference. It could not have been a better day for him, but more importantly, as he pointed out, a better day for the people of Ukraine and for the cause of democracy and freedom.
Do you think sending a Patriot battery to Ukraine was the right move?
Absolutely. I hope that they will send more than one. I know that there's been some reluctance in the past by not just the United States, but our NATO allies to provide a lot of the advanced equipment, particularly in this case, defensive equipment, which is what the Patriot battery is. But I think we've seen with our own eyes how effective the Ukrainian military is. I think they will be quickly trained to use the Patriot system, and they should be getting as much help as we can give them to end this war as quickly as possible in victory.
There's obviously opposition among some, particularly Republicans in Congress. Kevin McCarthy said something towards the effect of he's not sure American families are going to be willing to continue writing a blank check or having a blank check in a recession to Ukraine. Do you think that Zelensky's visit will have changed any minds on those who were skeptical?
I think it will certainly have strengthened both Democrats and Republicans who understand what's at stake in this fight against Putin and Russian aggression, and now with their ally Iran as well. I also think no one is asking for a blank check. I believe that the Ukrainians have proven that they are a really good investment for the United States. They are not asking us to be there to fight their war. They're fighting it themselves. They're asking us and our allies for the means to not only defend themselves, but to actually win. So I think this had a positive effect.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think that it did have a positive effect. Now, there's going to be critics. Now, she did mention that Patriot missile system. It's a Patriot air and missile defense system. It's capable of bringing down cruise missiles, short-range ballistic missiles, and aircraft at a significantly higher ceiling than previously provided air defense systems. Its radar system combines surveillance, tracking, and engagement functions in one unit. Ukraine apparently repeatedly asked for this for the Patriot, which is an acronym for Phased Array Tracking Radar for Intercept on Target, just if you want to know. It's considered one of the most capable long-range air defense systems on the market. And apparently, the U.S. Did not fulfill the request, obviously, in the first 10 months of the year. But according to CNN, an administration official said the reality of what is going on the ground in Ukraine influenced their decision to do so. President Zelenskyy also said, your money is not a charity. This is what he said yesterday. It is an investment in global security and democracy that we handle in the most responsible way. But of course, there are going to be critics. And guess who just could not get over himself? It boggled my mind, his take on the whole damn thing. And it's none other than asshat himself, Tucker Carlson. So this was Tucker Carlson's take on Zelensky's speech.
His visit to Washington was not to make the world more stable or make wise decisions, much less to help America. That's always at the bottom of the list. The point was to fawn over the Ukrainian strip club manager and hand him billions more dollars from our own crumbling economy. It is hard, in fact, it may be impossible to imagine a more humiliating scenario for the greatest country on earth. And we would love to blame Joe Biden for it, but we can't really, not entirely at least. This was bipartisan masochism. The uniparty is alive and well, despite the best efforts of voters, including last month. And if you doubt that it's alive and well, here's a picture of Zelenskyy that he had taken with a group of elderly Republican senators in Kiev back in May. They stand grinning next to him in their orthopedic shoes, 70-year-old Susan Collins, John Barrasso, John Cornyn, led by their 80-year-old ringleader, Mitch McConnell. 44-year-old Zelenskyy poses between them in a skin-tight polo shirt, flexing like a weightlifter and trying to look ferocious. They seem awestruck. Not since a young Fidel Castro showed up in New York wearing battle fatigues has this country's aging leadership class tittered more loudly in delight. They love a man in uniform. What a hunk. So strong and decisive. Look at the expression of Mitch McConnell's face. You can almost hear the giggles of pleasure. No rational person assessing the issues ever would have predicted this moment. If you were a Republican office holder and Zelenskyy came to Washington, maybe you would, for a moment, ask him about his current and ongoing war against Christianity in Ukraine, especially if you were, say, Mitch McConnell or John Cornyn, and a lot of your own voters go to church on Sunday. They might care about that issue. But McConnell and Cornyn didn't mention that. They didn't say a word. You will not hear a word on television tonight about the fact that Zelenskyy has banned an entire ancient Christian denomination in Ukraine and then seized churches and then thrown priests into jail. According to Mitch McConnell, who apparently hasn't left his office since the mid-'80s, anti-Christian despotism is what most Republicans want above all. They don't get enough. They're just begging for it.
I love how Tucker Carlson says things and gives zero context. Zero context of what the hell he's saying. And let's welcome Kim McAllister to the show. We're just kind of wrapping up this segment on Zelenskyy's speech before we move on to not lighter things, but other things. But as far as what Zelenskyy did, this was earlier this month. Zelenskyy signed a decree enacting a National Security and Defense Council decision to impose personal sanctions against representatives of religious organizations that are associated with Russia. Okay? It provided for examining the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate, one of two Orthodox bodies in Ukraine, following a breakup in 2019 that resulted in the establishment of one with independence from the Russian Church. But obviously the other is not. Ukrainian officials, according to the Associated Press, suspect that the Ukrainian Orthodox Church is promoting pro-Russian views, and some priests may be actively collaborating with Russia. The head of the Russian Orthodox Church has justified Russia's war in Ukraine as part of a metaphysical struggle to prevent a liberal ideological encroachment from the West. If you are fighting a war, and whether it's a church or another entity, is working against you, this isn't surprising. Now, obviously, in the United States, it could probably sits a little bit uneasy that things like this are happening inside the church. But that is the context of it. You can feel the way you do about it. But to say that Zelensky is just going over, taking over an ancient Christian religion provides zero context to the reason behind it. So, but that's just Tucker Carlson's MO. And the whole thing about his Zelensky's tight shirt and McConnell giggling, I don't know, man. It seems like Tucker Carlson's the one that's getting it in those special spots over the whole damn thing. So I don't know. Tucker Carlson can just suck it. But I thought Zelensky's speech.
Maybe he wants to.
Ooh, oh my. I thought Zelensky's speech, while on one hand, obviously historic, was effective. And I think that we need to continue supporting this effort simply because Russian President Vladimir Putin will not stop. We know this. This is his MO. And if we didn't do it, what is the alternative? What is the alternative? And we want to talk about protecting democracy around the world. This is the number one way to do it. So, and this is what we have to do. And I hope obviously other parts of the world step up financially and everything, but we are the world's leader. We love to have that moniker. This is what that means. Yeah. So
it's a little late to the Nikki Medoro show today.
It's okay. I know that you were doing some mom school stuff today. So
yeah, it was a room mom kind of day. That's why I was late to the Mark Thompson show. I'm having that kind of day.
Well, yeah, it's okay.
I was late to the Nikki Medoro show because for the first time I got a call from the principal regarding my daughter and not my son.
Oh, is everything okay?
Well, it turns out our 13-year-old friend, Julia, decided to, knowing that she shouldn't and that it's against the rules, go off campus for lunch around the corner to Jack in the Box with some buddies. And a parent saw them and said, no, you guys got to go back to school. And
what would make her think that she could do that?
There's some type of, I haven't officially talked to her yet. I hear she's in tears, but she's saying that she was trying to stop them from going.
What is she supervising? You yell until they leave and then you stay on campus.
All right, I guess if you can't beat them, join them.
I love it. I love it. Well, good luck to Julia. Yeah, she's busted. Nothing like getting grounded right before the holiday break, right?
Good punishment for that. I mean, her phone's already taken away. Now I have to come up with something else of value.
You know what? You have a conversation and you let it go, right? Yeah. I mean, if you do it again, that means that you're definitely not trying to stop anything. You're part of it.
I'm trying to kind of wrap my mom head around the fact, not to come down too hard because they take it really hard. So I'm trying to kind of, instead of being the hard ass all the time,
right,
kind of saying, okay, I know that you made a mistake. You're a really good kid who made a bad choice. What can we learn from it? Instead of, sometimes a punishment is necessary, but not always.
Of course.
So
it's leaving campus is kind of huge though, right?
Totally unsafe.
Did you ever cut class? Did you ever ditch school?
Oh yeah, but I don't want them to know that. That was in high school though, not in 8th grade.
That was in high school. Yeah, I was thinking about it and I said, it's a little early to be doing that kind of stuff. But
that's what I thought, yeah.
Somebody writes, a mom turned them in for that. Oh, come on. If that was me, I'm just saying, and I knew these kids and I knew that school was in session, I would have handled it probably. I would have probably turned around, gotten out of my car, been like, what are we doing, children?
Yeah.
This does not look like your classroom.
Another parent busted them. It's like, that's a total.
Good. That's a village. Yes, exactly.
I've seen kids that I knew should be in school.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have pulled over and been like, no.
Well, I'm glad that it worked out. It is the holiday, so maybe a little forgiving is in order. So let's do that. I'm hearing that my microphone is too hot. I apologize, people.
If I sound like that to me, it sounds good.
Okay. OCB. I don't know. Maybe your computer's too loud. I am a loud person though, so it's okay. Okay. So coming up, Kim wasn't here for my tease, but it is Thursday food segment, not Friday food segment, because again, no show tomorrow or Monday. So Kim, I was trying and racking my brain to figure out, there's also a level of what I'm willing to do right before the show. So I didn't want to cook something. I'll get to cooking in just a moment, but I wanted something delivered. I like delivery. I'm like, deliver it to me for my Friday food. So I, for the very first time, had crumble cookies delivered.
Oh.
And they have an eggnog cookie.
Okay.
I don't know if that sounds. My husband was drinking eggnog last night with a little bit of bourbon in it. I feel like I liked eggnog when I was younger. I don't feel like I drink it or like I would like it very much anymore. So
Are you gonna show us the cookie. What's it look like?
So this one, and we'll do that. We'll do the taste test after your news. But it's kind of soft on top. This one, see if I can give it, is the eggnog.
Is it just white? Does it have sprinkles on it?
Yeah, it has. It looks like maybe cinnamon or nutmeg.
Okay.
It's soft. So I had those delivered, and it was so funny. Funny story. So I have them delivered at 11:30, just in case there's any sort of delay, and the dog.
I'm a little jealous right now. I wish I
I
had them
know.
delivered.
I have 4 cookies here, and it's just because there's 4 people in my house, and I'm sure my kids are stoked. But so I got the eggnog. I got a snickerdoodle because I love snickerdoodles.
Yeah.
I got the red velvet, and then I got this one. Now they call it a holiday cookie on the website, but it's also the birthday cake one. So I don't know if they've tweaked it to be a holiday. Oh, my son, who's in his little fort right on the other side of this camera, just went like this to me that it's not good. So we'll taste that one too.
Oh. How could that be bad?
That's what I'm saying.
Like nothing in that box is going to be a bad thing.
So here, let me show them off, and then we'll do the taste test again after your news. This is the red velvet. I mean, they're like as big as my head. These are gigantic cookies. And then, of course, the snickerdoodle. Now, snickerdoodles will always hold a special place in my heart because when I went to college, well, when I spent 1 year at Chico State, because then I had to get the hell out of there. My best friend, who was the maid of honor in my wedding, she went with me. And her mom would send us a box of freshly baked snickerdoodle cookies. And I mean, that guy, I never had a snickerdoodle until I had her mom's. And so anytime I can get a snickerdoodle cookie, I will. It wasn't $50, by the way. I'm just going to say 4 cookies from Crumble. I guess $50 for dessert is okay. No, Nick. Plus delivery, including delivery, I paid $30, which isn't, and that included it. Well, I mean, I had it delivered too. No? I mean, they're gigantic cookies. They're not Oreos here, people. You guys are cheap.
I'm offended by that price tag.
Okay, so 30. Okay, why? I mean, how much do you think when you go to the mall, right? And you get a gigantic cookie, it costs money. You're paying for the unique.
Yes, I had to use my calculator. That's $7.50 per cookie.
But that includes delivery and a tip. So you have to take the delivery and the tip out of it. So would you pay $5 for believe me, I overpay for all kinds of crap. I mean,
I think those are $5 cookies. Yeah.
Thank you. See, so it's not that bad. Okay. Yeah, and come on, people, it's inflation. I have my holiday shirt on. Let's get lit. I got my holiday hat on. So this is the holiday show.
I'm gonna say you're adorable today.
I was trying. I was trying to be kind of festive for you. Okay, so when we come back, I'm going to do the holiday taste test of the cookies. I have milk here too. And then I have water because I'm going to get all and then I'm going to tease what I do have planned for not only people that subscribe to this show, because I have some YouTube shorts, or at least one that I have planned, but then something special for my Patreon subscribers. And it has to do with food, and it has to do with what we make in my family, and it's a tradition in my family that we eat and we cook on Christmas and Christmas Eve. And so my mom's going to make an appearance. I've already cleared it with her. She's waiting for me today to get my butt on over there. So that's going to be coming up. I'll have a bit of a tease. Tell me in the live chat what special foods you eat for this holiday specifically. What do you make? I'll show you a video from the Sacramento Bee of someone making tamales that look just delicious. Now that's not what we make. We make something else. It's more the Italian side of my family. And then I want to get into sesame. And when I was teasing this earlier, I saw a bunch of people in the chat room talking about the fact that they have a sesame allergy. I don't have food allergies, thankfully, because my heart goes out to people that do. How difficult and scary it must be just to go eat somewhere. Well, sesame is rising on the list of the most common food allergies that require an EpiPen. Okay, so we're not talking about, a little bit, that require an EpiPen. And so food manufacturers are taking a step that some people that suffer from food allergies are saying, this is way too far. But I'll ask you, What do you want them to do then? So that's coming up. I'll also give some shout outs to people that have been donating to our super chat. I love you guys. It really helps us keep the show. So I'll be doing that when we come back. Kim, are you eating something with me today?
I just got delivered from a family friend a stack of homemade fudge. I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh,
that while you're eating your crumble cookies, I may do a little bit of Divinus family fudge.
Done. Okay, we'll do that. All right, so let's do some news, then we'll talk some food. That's all coming up on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
And this report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz at 888 Tax Deal. It's a big winter storm, and it is delaying more than 5,500 flights across the country right now. Airports in Chicago and Denver experiencing the most delays. FlightAware says a quarter of flights originating from Chicago O'Hare have been canceled so far today. Same can be said for Denver, and now departing flights are affected out of SFO as well. The House set to eventually vote on a $1.7 trillion bill to fund the government after it cleared the Senate this afternoon. Senators voted 68-29 to pass the omnibus measure today ahead of Friday's deadline. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said it's a win for American families, workers, and for national defense. Secretary of State Antony Blinken recapping the United States support for Ukraine. Blinken said support will continue as Ukraine defends itself against Russia on through the winter. President Biden set to deliver a Christmas address soon. The White House says it'll be about what unites us as Americans. It'll also, he said, address the president's optimism for 2023. A bill ensuring equal pay and benefits for athletes representing the United States will soon become law. The Equal Pay for Team USA Act ensures equal pay for U.S. athletes competing in the Olympics or international competitions, regardless of their gender. It passed the House on Wednesday night after clearing the Senate earlier this month. It's a story out of Petaluma, where I live. Some students thought the worst after hearing a firecracker go off on the campus of Kenilworth Junior High School. Police say students thought there was a school shooting happening on Tuesday morning, and they started to run for it, telling other students there was somebody with a gun on campus. It turns out the firework was lit inside of a campus bathroom. But that's what we have come to, the old pranks. Now, can't do that anymore because people think that it's a panic moment, right? California, of course, we know this, has some of the worst roadways in the nation. This, according to Consumer Affairs, just over half of California's major roads are in poor or mediocre condition. 56% of the state's bridges are at least 50 years old. 40% of its urban roads rank poorly on the International Roughness Index. Oh, there's a roughness index. All right. Potholes, poor patch jobs, delayed maintenance, lending to all of that. Overall, California gets a C- when it comes to the American Society of Civil Engineers Infrastructure Report Card. A C- is just not good enough. Amazon is extending its Thank My Driver program. Customers can give drivers a $5 tip by simply telling Alexa to do so when using an Echo Show or Amazon's mobile app. Amazon launching the tip program December 7th, but ended it after just one day after getting more than 1 million requests. So now they'd like to extend that program. At LSU, students will soon be able to major in marijuana. The school is launching.
Hell yeah! Where was this when I was going to college? I mean, come on.
It's launching a cannabis education certificate program.
Okay.
There are courses for healthcare workers, a business class, one devoted to growing the best weed as well. LSU.
Who decides who has the best weed, though, right? I mean, do you like indica? Do you like sativa? Do you like a hybrid? I mean, it matters.
You know a little too much, I think, my friend.
Oh, no. I am well-versed in the marijuana. I know all about it. Thank you very much. Don't do it, children.
Spoke a whole different language I've never heard before.
Come on. You live in California. Are you kidding me right now? Come on.
I'm not. I have no idea. This report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz. For more than 30 years, Steve has put his tax knowledge to work for individuals and for businesses. If you need help with your taxes, you've got to call Steve. If you need help with your marijuana, you've got to call Nikki. Steve's at 888 Tax Deal. He's also at MoskowitzLLP.com. You know where to find Nikki.
Right here, baby. Right here.
I'm Kim McAllister on the Nikki Medoro Show.
Oh, come on. That's unfair. That is unfair. All right. Please click a thumbs up on the show right now while we're thinking about it. You're here already. Even if you're watching it as a recording, click the thumbs up. We love it. Either way. I do need to give some shout outs right now because OMG. Let's start with Michelle Crocker giving a $4.99 comment donation. Thank you. Aloha from Walter, also with a $5 donation.
Meli Kaliki Maka, my friend.
There, yeah, what Kim said. I ditto that. Michelle back with another $5 one. If sesame is an allergen, then labeling it in an allergy warning is just common sense. Hold that thought. We're going to get to it in just a moment. We have a $5 donation from Harry. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Harry.
Here's for your Nikki Teeny. Thank you. Michelle is so generous today. Another $5 donation. Food segments are great ideas. Ron Owens from Station Ags would have a wine expert. Evan Goldstein. He might be good to have on. Ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah, I also have a wine expert that I used to have on sometimes, so I can call him.
Ooh, oh, that'd be fun.
Chris Sawyer is his name.
And I need to give an oh my God, I love you to Janet R. $100. Merry Christmas to Nikki and Kim. Love your show and be safe this holiday season. Thank you.
What a nice thing.
Oh my God. I'm welling up. All right, Janet, everyone, thank you so much again. The super chat, the $sign is right there, and you can donate to us as well as buy some show merchandise at the Nikki Medoro Shop.com. The website is right there on your screen. I just want
to say we really appreciate the support, not only financially, but also it just kind of helps us know that you're there, you're supporting us, you're liking what we're doing. And it kind of propels us forward. So just on an emotional level, thank you.
Thank you. We really do appreciate it. All right. So I know I've been seeing the comments. You guys think I overpaid. I don't think I overpaid. They were delivered, people. I'll pay a lot for, dude. I deliver food. I mean, I have food delivered all the time. I like it. Okay. So the Friday food segment on a Thursday, because again, I'm just going to keep reminding you people, there's no show tomorrow or Monday because I'll be busy with the fam. All right. So someone had said in the comments that their daughter really wanted to try it. And this is the eggnog cookie. Now, again, for those of you saying I overpaid, it's almost as big as my face. Okay. Let me take a little piece. It has, let me describe it. So it's kind of smells like nutmeg. It smells like an eggnog, I guess. Let me take a little piece of it. These things are dense too. I'm not a huge, and I'm not knocking crumble. But they're big. I mean, it's not like I'm going to eat 4 cookies. I'm not even going to eat one to my head. If my son was dressed, maybe he could do a taste test with me, but he doesn't want to get dressed. Okay. So here we go. This is the eggnog cookie. That's how dense it is. There you go. See? And it's got you can see little nutmeg thingies right there. All right. It does taste like eggnog.
Does it?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Was that a $5 cookie?
Do you want to come here and try it, Dylan? Dylan, who just got his braces off yesterday. All right. Here's my son coming out of his little fort that he's been in all day. Say hi, Dylan.
Hi, buddy.
Okay, he can't hear you. She said hi. All right, here, taste it. It's the eggnog cookie. All right, just throw it all in your mouth. Smallest bite ever. All right, lean into the microphone and I would say I'm assuming that face is a no.
Is that a no?
No, it tastes bad. It's bad. Marley, you want to try? Okay, here, come here. Here's my other kid. They're all off. I know your kids are going to be off soon. Here's Marley.
My kids are in trouble.
All right, let's try it. This is the eggnog. Just eat it. No? All right.
Not a popular cookie.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you for trying, children. They've never drank eggnog before either, though. So I wonder if that has to play.
So my son, who's 8, Jacob, who does the closing show song, he cannot get enough eggnog.
Ooh, I drank it as a kid all the time.
He loves it. I have to say no. Like, no, you have to stop. What? Too much eggnog, too much sugar.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to drink out of my holiday cup, some milk.
Okay.
All right, so that's the eggnog. So Marley
that's
actually gave a sideways. Is it a sideways? Dylan's a down. I'm an up. I would, but
Okay.
I'm a half up because would I order this cookie again? Probably not. It wouldn't be at the top of my list. No. I mean, it's okay. It does taste like a little bit like
You
eggnog.
don't make me want to run out and buy one right now.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. Now, my son already gave this a down. Okay, so my daughter went, come back. You can try this one too. This is the birthday cake, but it said holiday underneath it. So it has red and gold sprinkles on it. Okay. So, and this one's not as soft as the eggnog one, but I swear they
Marley's hair looks cute.
Your hair looks cute, she says.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, hon.
All right. Okay. There's a lot of I'm not a frosting lover either. So, all right, here. I'm going to take a bite first and then you try it. That tastes like birthday cake. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I try it?
Mm-hmm.
Is that another purchase? Like, would you buy that again?
Would I buy this again? Maybe on my birthday.
Okay.
Maybe. Again, I don't know. It has to fight with the snickerdoodle that I'm about to eat. All right, you give it a shot.
Try it.
David Morales texts us while you guys are trying the cookie. Says, good afternoon. I'm dealing with my 13-year-old daughter. I know what you two are dealing with as with teenagers. We hear you, David. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, not bad. You gave me a none before when I was teasing it.
Talking about the eggnog cookie.
Oh, the eggnog. He wasn't. They both are big fans of the birthday one. So again, it has sprinkles. It's got a thick amount of frosting. I don't know if you guys are frosting fans. I am not a frosting fan.
I see. That's why we're a good pair.
You like frosting?
I see the cookie or the cupcake as simply a vehicle for the frosting.
Yeah,
that's all. It's just a way to get more frosting to me. Whereas you probably could do without the frosting and just eat the cookie. See?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would take the frosting off. And yes, to our friend Tony in San Antonio, is she wearing a Megadeth shirt? She is. It's my husband's, which she loves to wear his clothes. So there you go. Okay, can you wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays?
Merry Christmas.
Okay, say bye.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
They still want to try more cookies with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I do the snickerdoodle? I know what a snickerdoodle tastes like, but let's try.
Yeah,
I've never had the crumble
snickerdoodle is good. I did buy that one once, and I would
All right,
buy it again.
Here's a piece for you.
The fudge is good, by the way.
Here's a piece for you. Oh yeah. So describe the fudge for me.
Creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Divinus family fudge strikes again. Good.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And David, my husband,
Uh-huh.
he bought me these. Can you see that? Alter Eco.
Ooh, salted caramel truffles.
These things are amazing. And they're like, you come in a little package.
Do they have any nuts in them or is it just caramel?
It is the cleanest, greenest chocolate, they say. Made organically, no fake sugars or additives, carbon neutral supply chain. It restores
Feel good while
the
you're
forest.
eating it.
They're clean. They help the planet. So yeah, you feel good while you're eating it. Good stuff.
That snickerdoodle's bomb. Is it as? Do you take the rest of my cookie? Look at these kids. I was like, where's the rest of it go? Right now I have one left. Yeah, you don't like it? Marley's a no on the snickerdoodle. What about you? Oh, Dylan loves it. So,
okay.
I like it. Although, again, gigantic cookie. All right, one more cookie. This is red velvet with white chocolate chips in it. Oh no! No! I think we have to mute. I think we should mute that. I think we'll mute Kim's. That's sad. Oh, poor Julia. Okay, we'll do the red velvet. Oh, poor baby. So this is the red velvet. You want to taste this one? All right. You want to taste this one? All right. I mean, I think Julia needs one of those caramel truffles over there. Is she okay?
She's scared of my reaction to what happened. So I can say that my work here is done. Like all I had to do was look at her, and there was tears. Like so.
Yeah, trying to escape from school.
Yep.
Right before the holiday. That's so classic. Okay.
Yeah. Did you tell Marley what she did?
I have not yet. You want to hear what Julia did? Well, she's in 8th grade. So is Marley.
Yeah.
Julia decided she was caught off campus at lunch with friends during lunch at school. A mom caught them and sent them back. Julia claims she was what? She was trying to tell them not to go?
Yeah, she was trying to keep them from going. But
she was trying to keep them from going, but actually went with them.
Yeah.
Are you buying that excuse? Don't be an 8th grader. Be like a mom. Would you buy that excuse? No,
No.
no. Mm-mm. Well,
It's all right. We all make mistakes. You know,
it's the
somebody needs a
holidays.
hug. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the red velvet cake?
Lori,
Cookie.
she's crying because she's scared of me. That's why. She's scared she's going to get in trouble. Yeah.
Good job. Good job, Mom. Uh-oh. Gotta mute it. All right. Well, she's crying because she's scared. We know why kids cry. They're scared of the outcome. No, you don't get the rest of my snickerdoodle. You can have half. All right, beat it, kids. That's too much sugar in the morning. I love you.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you to everybody that kind of put up with all of that. You know, we could just kind of talk about this a little bit while Kim's dealing with Julia. On one hand, she should know what she did was wrong. And she does.
That's drama at my house. Drama for your mama.
That was like, if we were not on video and just radio, that's great sound. I mean,
yeah, the crying.
Now, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this story.
Yeah.
When I was 14 years old, I drove my brother's brand new car through my parents' garage door.
14 years old?
So yeah, I drove through my parents' garage door. Okay. So now we maintain to this day that it was my brother's fault because his brand new car, a stick shift. And I asked him, because I'm a kid, hey, can I drive it? And he's like, you can move it up into the driveway. So he parked it at the end of the driveway in front of said garage door, thinking that I would stall out. I'm obviously an amazing driver. I did not stall out. I went boom, right through the garage door. Anyway.
Wow.
And it was a brand new stock car my grandmother bought from my brother. So I understand.
I agree that is his fault. He should never have let you do it. Yeah.
So, but at the time, my grandmother was the only one home. My parents were like out at dinner or something. And so I remember my brother's freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. The minute I saw my parents, I just immediately started crying. Now, on one hand, yes, I was scared. On the other, tears to express how sorry you are can help. Oh,
it's okay.
Look.
It's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's okay.
It's okay, Julia. We've all decided that your mom's not going to be mad at you.
All the people on the show say it's okay.
Are we terrible mothers for laughing? Are we just
hilarious.
Mothers for laughing?
Yeah, we're really bad.
We're like, yes, we know you're sorry. We know.
I actually am kind of proud of her because the new information I got when I had put you on pause was that it was her friend who was trying to stop people from leaving campus, and she went with her friend because she didn't want her friend to go alone. So, and I've told
so she was keeping her friend safe, kind of thing.
Yeah, I've told them to stick together. Sometimes they will go to
not off the bridge, though, Kim. Not off the bridge.
No.
You know, follow them all the way off the cliff, aren't you?
I tell them I don't want them to go alone after school places, and so they're to stick together. So it was kind of a rule she was following. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. She's not trouble. She did bring me these antlers, so that's always nice.
Oh, good. Now we're festive together. Yeah. Look, you've got your antlers. I've got my hat. Julia, it's gonna be fine. The fear of the parents' reaction is what leads to that's why, pardon me, I was freaking out when I drove the car. I was like, oh my God. My parents are gonna kill me. Yeah. They're gonna kill me. I remember I ran up to my room, I hid. They didn't kill me. Were they upset? Yes, they have a hole in their house, but you know
what she was going through there. Like she built it up in her mind that I was just going to be so mad.
Of course.
And all she got from me was a hug. You know
exactly. Now, be honest, Mom. If this show wasn't going on, what would your initial reaction have been? I mean, would you have had a stern talking to? Yeah,
we'll have a talk, but I'm not happy that she left campus, but I am happy that she didn't leave her friend hanging in the wind by herself.
And you know what else is good? That maybe
if you're go down together, girls.
That's true. But it's good that she gets this out of her system now. So maybe it won't happen in high school. She'll be like, oh no, I'm not doing that again. That's not in my high school though. When you were a junior and a senior, you got to leave campus for lunch. Did you get that?
Lori's a teacher. She says, yeah, it's a huge problem for schools and teachers when kids do.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, I don't want my child to ever do it. No. It's common, but I wouldn't want my kid to do it. But yeah, I mean, we try to be nice moms, right, Kim? And our kids would probably.
Oh, Flo's
case by case basis.
50-year-old man crying.
Oh,
yeah.
Flo, yeah. I mean, someone said this is real life. Yep, this is real life.
This is, you know what this is? It's called minimum day Christmas break. And this for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have kids coming in and out of here.
I do my show, and I'm not gonna show you because this room is just insane. My son has built a fort and he's been sleeping in it and living in it in this room where I broadcast my show. So he has to wake up when I start the show because he's been sleeping in. And all of a sudden, I'll be on with Chip to do a cross on his show, and then I'll have Mark Thompson's show blaring as I'm prepping for this show. So he has to get his head together. And then once I start my show, then he's all up and at him.
Are your kids scared of you? Lori says it's a good thing. It's a deterrent while it lasts. I would say I have used the fear that my kids have of me to my own benefit, but then sometimes I feel bad that they're scared. Like maybe I'm too. That's why I told you I'm trying to do this whole like, what can we learn from it instead of punish? Because I want them to know that they can always come to me, that they can always talk to me, that I'm not this person to be feared. Always, I'm a real person. I'm here to help you with your problems, right?
Well, yeah, I've reinforced that with this, Dylan, are you afraid of me? He's going to come and tell you. I mean, he's my love, though. I mean, there's he better say, are you afraid of me, my love?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Am I a sucker? Am I a sucker for you?
Yes.
I love you. No, I mean, I'm a hard ass when I need to be, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Marley? Now here struts in my teenager, right?
Michelle says, I'm 40 years old and I'm still scared of my mom.
Are you scared of me? Don't say that word. Are you scared of me?
That's the truth.
You're not at all.
No.
So would you be like, if you did something wrong, would you ever be scared to tell me or dad?
No.
No?
No.
No. Which is the way you want it. I want, there's going to be a punishment. Like, there'd be consequences.
Yeah.
Oh, her friends are calling. There'd be consequences, right? But all right. Well, everybody loves you and saying hi. All right. Bye.
Oh.
Love you.
Mo Direct says a deterrent with consequence or an ability to have an open conversation and being able to talk through the situations openly, diplomatically, without direct consequence. Which is better?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's always a consequence. It just matters what it is. And it's not always the same exact thing. A consequence could literally be the conversation, right? Sitting through the conversation, having it out. Other things might be, if you did something wrong with your phone, for instance, if you were texting inappropriately or the consequence has to be losing it for a while. Yeah.
And I think there's room for both.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Someone that is talked to, but also reasonably apply punishment.
Of course, you have to.
And they have to know. I think kids know when they did something wrong, and
you would hope.
when they know that they actually warrant a punishment. That you're not being mean. It's just that this is what happens when you do X. They know. Like, send some text you shouldn't have sent. Your phone's going to be taken away. It's not.
Have you ever asked your kids what their punishment should be? Like, what would you do? I've done that. I'm like, you're me. What would you do? And sometimes they're harsher than I even would be. I'm like,
I was just going to say, sometimes it's like, nothing should happen to me. And then other times,
I've never got that.
Penalize the hell out of themselves. That's like,
right. Like, okay, good. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes I'll say something and then I'll be like, okay, but yeah, you're going to have to adjust to whatever the situation is. Michelle writes, I learned in ECE that there's an alternative
education. Yeah.
Thank you. That there's an alternative to the traditional punishments. Child guidance is a way that they can help to understand what they did was wrong without humiliating them. Oh, now I don't humiliate my children. I don't think I would ever. I know I would never be one of those people.
Yeah.
That would make my kid carry a sign around like I'm a thief.
The public shaming.
No, I would make them go to the person they stole and do that because that's a direct kind of consequence. But yeah, I think it matters in the situation. My son just keeps making all these faces at me. Okay, we're coming up to the top. We can continue this conversation on the other side. I'm absolutely loving it. So keep sending in your thoughts. I do, though, want to continue the food kind of segment. I wanted to throw in, I can do this real quickly because it's not that big of a story.
Sorry, I derailed the cookies with my house.
No, I love it. Are you kidding me? This is so great. You can't write stuff like this. But no? Crumble, by the way, I don't know if you have this in your news. The Crumble Cookies is being sued.
For copying cookie copies?
No, that's what I thought it was going to be. Child labor laws. And we had a coworker, Brett Burkhart from Station X. His daughter worked at Crumble, but she was of age. But yeah, they say 11 operators have allowed employees as young as 14 and 15 years old to work more hours than allowed by law. Oh. And 2 of them are in California, one in Brentwood and one in Concord. Wow, so keep that in mind. I mean, I started working at 15 years old. Yeah. I had to go to school and get the little slip filled out that I could work and all those sorts of things. But yeah, so Crumble's facing a little bit of trouble there. There's also this story I wanted to show you real quickly before we go to news, because you mentioned the Crumble cookie thing and how they had been sued by they were suing another cookie company because it looked alike. There's another one hitting the Uncrustables market. You tell me if Smucker's has a case. Do you think that the Gallant Tiger blueberry bourbon sage jam and peanut butter is just like the Uncrustable?
Absolutely not.
I mean, that ingredient
it has bourbon, blueberry, and sage. Oh, maybe because it looks like the Uncrustable, like it just has the same look at the pie looking thing.
Yeah, but the Gallant is making this argument that there's only so many shapes you can make a crustless sandwich in. Right. And
you don't own the shape of pie. Yeah.
You don't. Oh, yeah, exactly. You don't own the shape. So that's another one. All of this competition regarding food. But Uncrustables, I feel like it's okay.
You want to come give love? Come here. Come talk to Nikki. No, not ready for that?
Not ready for it.
Okay, not ready for that.
Well, if she wants to come on and give all of us an update, she can.
Nikki says if you'd like to come on and give an update whenever you're ready, you can. You want to give an update?
Principal laughed at me.
Nobody's laughing at you.
Nobody's laughing.
Nobody's laughing.
Stand up.
Okay, well then lean down.
We have to see your beautiful face.
I'll give you my headphones. I'll give you my headphones. Put them on. You talk to Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm okay.
How are you feeling?
Not very good.
Are you upset because of what happened or because you were scared of your mother?
Both.
You know you don't have to be scared of your mother. She loves you and she forgives you. She told all of us.
She's a scary person sometimes. She gets really mad. That's like the one thing I was fearing. That's the only thing I was thinking when we walked out my gate was my mom's gonna kill me. She's gonna.
But she didn't.
Me.
She didn't though.
No, that was scary. That's why I called Dad, not you.
Oh,
because sometimes.
Well, she's also working.
Because you just get so mad sometimes at me when I do bad things that you like can't think of anything else. But Dad like stops for a minute and he like thinks about what's going on my side. He's like, you know what? She's coming from like a good place, so I'm not gonna yell at her. But you just go, you're like, you know, you're just
make that sound again. Can I just get that sound one more time?
Everyone makes mistakes, and I love you very much.
No, the principal laughed at me.
Why did the principal laugh?
No. I went into her office, and I was like, "What do I even say?" And then she was like, "Oh," and we went through it, and then I was like, "I don't want to do this," and she goes, "Well, do you want me to?" And I go, "No, that'd be worse." And I had like a stone, like a knot. I was like looking like sad and stuff, and she starts giggling. She goes, and then it was really sad, like because one by one we went into the office and then each person would like come out and we were like, are you okay, like are your parents mad?
One by one
all of those people that just left. Can I just say one thing, Julia? You have done something that so many people have done when they were little. Not that it's okay and it is a danger. Don't beat yourself up. Obviously learn from it, and your mother is never going to kill you. She loves you more than anything in this world.
She still won't be very mad at me, though.
She's over it. Don't worry about it.
At me, though.
No.
Okay.
It's okay. We love you. Merry Christmas.
I don't want to talk about it later. I don't think we need to do that.
She's like, we're done.
Talked about it. I already talked about it with the principal, and then I sat in a room for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
About my decisions.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
And that's news on the Nikki Medoro Show.
I know. Look at that. You know what? And somebody was saying, I think it was Lori. Look, Julia loves being on air. Let's just share this about her. Yeah. She's totally fine talking to us on the radio. So don't worry about that.
She's a bit of an extrovert. She's not. I didn't force.
No, there's no force.
Do
you see how quickly?
I wouldn't have. Yeah.
She came in knowing you were on air. That says it all. Yeah. Like she knew that she was going to probably be on air. So great real life story, Kim. Do you have news? I mean, we could skip news.
No, I have some news if you
Yeah,
want
some
me
news.
to.
Okay, we could do a little bit of news. When we come back, I still want to get to the food allergies.
Now
We'll
you guys
lighten it
think
up
I'm this
towards the end.
horribly angry person. I'm really not.
You know what? Screw it. Whatever. They should be a little afraid of you. I mean, that is the truth. They should be a little afraid. I'm not going to beat you, but you shouldn't not think there's going to be any consequences. It's fine. As long as they continue to talk to you, you're fine.
We're letting life hang out to dry here on the Nikki Medoro Show.
That's how I like to do it, people. I like to be like, not like every other show out there. Okay, so Kim will do news. We'll talk some food allergies. I want to hear some stories from you about what's the best way for food manufacturers to deal with that, because I know some of you in the comments have been saying you have food allergies. That's all coming up, but first, Kim.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
And this report is sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz at 888 Tax Deal. The latest GDP reading shows the U.S. economy growing faster than expected. The Commerce Department says GDP grew by 3.2% in the last quarter. Economists had expected it to grow by 2.9%. The number of injured people in the earthquake on Tuesday in Northern California stands now at 17 people hurt. Officials say the 2 people that died during or after the quake were both elderly. Both had pre-existing conditions as well. Early estimates say there are at least 30 homes and 1 commercial structure that have been deemed structurally unsafe. So there are a lot of people out of their homes just before Christmas. Texas is dropping an attempt to prevent 18 to 20-year-olds from carrying handguns in public. The state originally said it would appeal a judge's ruling earlier this year that a state law disarming adults under 21 was unconstitutional. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in June the Second Amendment protects individuals who carry firearms for self-defense. The dates are now set for the 2024 Republican National Convention. RNC planners announcing it will run July 15th through the 18th in Milwaukee. The city beat out Nashville to host that convention. And football fans will have a new way to watch NFL games not aired on local television. The league and Google announcing a multi-year agreement that makes YouTube TV the exclusive carrier of NFL's Sunday Ticket subscription package. It will be available as an add-on for YouTube TV subscribers or as a standalone subscription via YouTube Primetime channel. So YouTube TV, here we are on YouTube and it's growing. So it looks like a lot of people will be watching their football on Sunday on YouTube as well. And this report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz. For more than 30 years, Steve has put his tax knowledge to work for both individuals and for businesses. So if you need help with your taxes, you can call Steve at 888-TAX-DEAL, or you can check him out online. It's Moskowitz right here, MoskowitzLLP.com. I'm Kim McAllister on The Nikki Medoro Show.
All right, it's hour 2 of the Nikki Medoro Show. Thank you all so much. Nugget here, celebrating the holidays. A reminder, we will not be on tomorrow, but I do have some special things planned. So now we were talking about this, was it this week or maybe last week? We were talking about things that take a long time to make, some holiday traditions. One of those traditions, I know for a lot of you, are tamales, right? Like I see videos of people I know, their family gets together. It's like an assembly line of stuff that you make. I want to show you this one video. Let me bring down the music just a little bit. I want to show you this one video that the Sacramento Bee had posted of this guy's tamale making. I mean, look how delicious this looks. But here we go. There. Oh, where's the volume? There we go.
Yolanda, of course. She started, selling tamales in Los Angeles. They moved here to Sacramento. She's been doing it since '88. And, it's something that she passed on to us. We took it over and we made it bigger,
Look at all those tamales.
Ooh, wow.
I know.
Newcomers that say,
But look at this. There's one
tamales
part. I'm like, oh
remind
my
me of
God,
my
it looks
grandma.
delicious.
They remind me of my mom. It brings back memories. Each tamal that we do, is a memory of, of someone that had a tamal by, a loved one, a significant one, and it brings a lot
Oh,
of
it looks so good.
joy to us and to ladies as well that make the tamales. That people get really happy. That's why people always come back, because the tamales mean home, love, and they think about other people that made the tamales for them. But people love doing it during Christmas because it brings the family together. It's a joy to seeing people how they spread the masa, or seeing how if they put a lot of feeling, and it makes people laugh. Especially doing it with family and then during Christmas time.
Yeah. So we don't do tamales in my family. It's not a tradition. What my mother does, my Puerto Rican mother, makes a very Italian dish. Now, my mom and my dad both make an amazing spaghetti sauce or red sauce that they have passed down to me that I absolutely love. Although my kids still say that theirs is better, but I make it exactly the same way, but whatever. I'll get it right. I've been making it for years. It's delicious, but what we make that's not similar to tamales, but is very labor intensive and kind of takes an assembly line, is we make manigot, manicotti, some people call it. And my mom makes the shells from scratch. I mean, we do everything all together, and it's this assembly line, and it takes a long time. So I will be making a video later on today with my mom, and I'll show you kind of the process of us making the shells and stuffing them. And I don't know if I'll be there for the sauce making, but and then I'll be sharing a little more in depth, maybe even the recipe with our Patreon subscribers. Pardon me. So become a monthly Patreon subscriber. These are some of the things I'll be sharing simply only to members. And this is not a recipe that you're going to want to forget or not have, because I grew up with this. I was raised eating manigots. My brother, who's trying to eat better, is like, I'm still eating that though. I mean, it is just absolutely delicious, and it's all homemade. So that'll be coming up sometime this week, and I'll get all the videos up. Maybe I'll get it up tonight. Definitely by probably tomorrow. I'll get the video up.
Tony Macias says, I got my tamales this morning from the tamale factory in San Jose with a long line, very long line.
Yes, exactly. There was a woman in Sacramento when we lived up there, and she would sell them out of the trunk of her car. And we always knew where she was going to be. And she would make the cheese and jalapenos. She would make sweet ones. It's just, and everyone has their own, a preference. Kim saying more filling, less masa. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like that equal, but most of them homemade. You got the olive in there. I mean, tamales are delicious, but you've never had my mother's manigot. So it is absolutely delicious. Yes.
Kim says, I made tamales for the first time at a tamale making party.
Ooh. Was it at like a family friend's house, I'm assuming? So this was part of it and you were incorporated into it? Or was this kind of a new thing that they do, like Chef's Club or something like that? Because I can see it going both ways. I've never been invited to, like a Mexican family making their tamales or whatever. Right. But I've seen it, and I've always put it in my order. Like, that looks delicious.
So Julia had a band concert recently, and they were having a fundraiser so you could buy tamales for dinner, and we hadn't eaten, and Jacob was hungry. Right. So my husband bought him this big plate of chicken tamales, and it looked amazing, but he took one bite and his mouth was on fire.
Oh yeah, you have to
extra spicy.
Yeah, I love the spice. You can make it as hot as you. I just absolutely love it. They are, and Kim says a friend of a friend. Yeah, that's the best way. And because it incorporates families and friends and everything like that. Lori, ex-partner's mom, used to make it once a year. We'd freeze and eat for 6 months. Yeah. I wonder if my husband's listening right now, because he's usually the one, because he's always out and about, they'll bring home some tamales. And then our friend, whose mom would always make them, moved to Las Vegas.
Oh,
so we're not getting any of those tamales anymore. Jalapeno and cheese tamales. Those are one of my favorite. I mean, I can eat those all day long. I know, William. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, that's why I love my food segments. I'm always hungry. Awesome. Okay, so let's get into food, but food allergies. My heart goes out to people with food allergies. But in my mind, when I think of like deadly, severely allergic food allergy, I think of peanuts. I mean, it's just always on the top. Eggs, dairy, those sorts of things. And shellfish. My mom has a deadly shellfish allergy. The woman who will make us a cioppino every year with shellfish in it. I swear to God, the woman will just put all of it aside because we love it so much. But I've never heard of a sesame allergy. But there is a new federal law requiring sesame be listed as an allergen on food labels. But apparently, it's having this unintended consequence of now everything has sesame in it because of this whole fear of cross-contamination. Now, food industry experts told the LA Times that the requirements are so stringent that many manufacturers, especially bakers, find it simpler and less expensive to just add sesame to a product and label it than to try to keep it away from other foods or equipment with sesame. That it's too easy for there to be this cross-contamination that it's like there's sesame in it. Just assume that it has sesame in it. So now there was this article had a list, pardon me, I'm going to try to find the information of companies and the consequences of it. So some companies include the statements such as may contain or produced in a facility. Chick-fil-A changed its white bun and multigrain brioche buns to include sesame. Wendy's said the company added sesame to its French toast sticks and buns, which you wouldn't necessarily think. United States Bakery, which operates Franz Family Bakeries in California, notified customers this year that it would add a small amount of sesame flour to all hamburger and hot dog buns and rolls to mitigate the risk of any adverse reactions to sesame products. So tell me in the chat, I mean, what are people with sesame allergies supposed to eat if everyone just adds it because they're afraid of cross-contamination or being sued? Because now the list of foods that you can eat is shrinking by the day. That's insane. How do people with food allergies, I mean, what do you do when you go out to eat? I mean, do you just, and tell me in the chat, I mean, do you just go and ask the server and hope that they really actually know every single ingredient? Do you not eat out that much? Because that would be my fault. I make my own food. I know what's in it, and I'm not going to mess with it.
If you have a severe allergy, that's probably pretty smart. But I saw it today at the class party, the class holiday party, where a little kid with a peanut allergy, the mom doesn't know, or the parents don't know, I should say, what's being served. So they have their own little treat box. And when the party is going on, he goes to get something separate treat that they know is safe for him. And he steers clear of the holiday table, right? Even though the class note says, don't put any peanuts in anything. We've got a severe allergy going on. So.
Yeah. And I know that, and I know there's probably going to be someone saying, look, the world has allergens. You're just going to have to deal with it. The world can't bend to everyone with an allergy. But at the same time, and I think, Lori, you're mentioning that you have an allergy. She said she literally almost died in my parking space. I stupidly drove home when I knew I was having a reaction. Never had the allergy before. She was 55. You can get new allergies at any time. You want to hear a crazy story? So my mom, the entire time she grew up, she knew she had the shellfish allergy, okay? But then all of a sudden, it kind of went away. I mean, I remember growing up, she would eat crab and be fine. She would eat shellfish and be fine. And then I'll never forget this. So I had to have been in probably 6th grade, and my brother was like in 7th grade, and we were home with my grandmother. And my parents went to a crab feed. And it's getting late, and they're not coming home. And this is the day before cell phones, right? And all of a sudden, my grandma gets a call. My mom's been rushed to the hospital because her throat started closing up because she started having the allergy once again. Now she doesn't touch it. But yeah, it's one of those things that allergies can be really weird. So even if I'm saying I'm lucky I don't have any allergies, it's always at this point, right? At this point, I don't have it. But and Buck writes in food allergies, another one of God's mistakes. Oops. You know who doesn't have what I think it's peanut allergies? I believe it's in India. I could be wrong. I have to double check it. They give babies these teething cookies that have peanut butter in them. And so there's the thought that because they're always introducing these small amounts of peanuts at basically birth or very young, that they build up a tolerance to it. And that's why you don't see the same type of allergies there that you do in other parts of the world.
Here's a weird one. My nephew had an allergy to egg whites or eggs.
Okay.
And so apparently there's some vaccines that are suspended in some type of egg white mixture. And
Oh,
so they
I
had to
didn't know
do
that.
vaccines a little differently for him at one point.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
yeah.
Look what Eric wrote. My ex lost her allergy to strawberries when she was pregnant, then got it back again afterwards. Isn't that crazy?
See,
I
my
de
husband was allergic to strawberries when he was little and
It
then
does
grew out of it. So now
see?
it's fine. Yeah.
I developed an alcohol allergy when I was breastfeeding, and not like I was drinking and breastfeeding, but when I was breastfeeding and I'd pump and dump or whatever, but I got that flush, that red flush kinda
That was your
allergy with
body
wine.
saying, "Nikki, no."
Don't drink wine while I wasn't breastfeeding, but you know what I'm saying. It was that time. I'd have a glass of wine and I would turn beet red. So I had to stop drinking red wine. I don't have that allergy anymore. Although, I mean, I still probably get flushed if I drink too much wine, but I'm not much of a wine drinker
Oh
anymore.
God, Murphy.
Developed a
I
food
developed
allergy at 42. Wow. To ranch dressing? That's an odd one. I wonder what is it something that's in ranch dressing, Murphy? Or is it literally just ranch dressing? Because what is ranch dressing? Mayonnaise and
some
seasoning?
spices, seasoning, yeah.
That's weird.
I had takeout at home. I almost stopped breathing. It
Oh
was
my
one
gosh.
recipe from Aki. They
Oh,
don't make it anymore. Oh God, something
I
in there
wonder.
didn't sit well with you.
Jeez. Um, yeah, wow. I mean, it is when and again, the only allergy I have is to a certain antibiotic. And I got Stevens-Johnson syndrome from it. It was pretty serious, but that's when I was a baby, and they just don't give me that antibiotic anymore. But that's it, and I don't remember it. I have pictures of me all like blistered, and it was
Oh
awful.
God.
Yeah, Stevens-Johnson syndrome is pretty serious, especially when you're little like that. And I
Yeah.
got blisters, and I couldn't eat, and they would just crack and bleed, and I was purple. It was awful. And you give your kid an antibiotic because they're not feeling good, and then they get even worse. But as far as a food allergy, just the question mark with everything that's processed nowadays, I bet you, and I don't know if this is true, but I would bet if you have a food allergy, you likely eat better food, like whole foods, because they're not processed with all the other crap that's on the store shelves. Buttermilk. Murphy's saying, Lori, maybe buttermilk, perhaps.
I've always felt like, people will be annoyed that they, can't bring certain things to the classroom or they can't make peanut butter
Whatever.
sandwiches.
One less student to
And
cook
it's like
for.
I've always been so grateful that it's not something I have to deal with every day for my
Right.
kids, that I am more than happy to, help you, because you've got way more of a challenge than I do when in
Right.
that department. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as far as this, abiding by
The collective you.
exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as this new law that's requiring Sesame, other large companies have been adding allergens to their products for a while. In 2016, Kellogg's added traces of peanut flour to some cookies and crackers, and that prompted protests. Pan O Gold Baking Company, which supplies breads to schools, was also adding small amounts of sesame to its products, and that means that children who have the allergy can't even eat at school. But they're saying food safety officials are saying the unfortunate reality is our equipment and bakeries are not set up for allergen cleanings that would be required to prevent sesame cross-contamination and was not an option for us. They say at some point someone is going to feed an allergic child sesame. It makes me think the laws need to change to show that this is not an acceptable process. And that's from someone that's trying to protest the addition or the addition of sesame. I don't know. I mean, on one hand, you want to protect people. On the other, in our litigious society, if I was a bakery, I might do the same thing, which is terrible to say. It's like, I don't even want to mess with it. Just make the assumption that everything has an allergy, and it's cruel or, blunt to say, make your own bread, make your own cookies. You know what's in it, and you don't have to worry about us doing it. RJ Dunn, though, I love this. I've been a chef for 30 years. That's definitely the first ranch allergy I've ever heard of. There had to be something in that Aki's.
Yeah.
If it's only Aki's ranch, which I've never had. I mean, I've had Aki's, but I've never had their ranch. There must be some maybe it's a spice or something in it that you might be allergic to. But yeah, that's scary. So yeah, again, my heart goes out to everybody that has these types of allergies because it is not fun. Okay. I do want to get to this story. Am I going to have time? Do I want to do this?
Yeah,
I also want to do, All right. Yeah. Okay. We're on YouTube now, Kim McAllister. We're learning every
There's no
day.
rules. The rules are what we make, right?
I know, but this is a long investigation. I'm going to include the link to this article because you guys should really read it, especially as YouTube just grows in popularity. We've laughed about it, and I've heard stories like this. There's a child that makes $1 million a year simply by drinking soda on camera or some sort of nonsense, right? These child YouTube stars, they make bank. My daughter specifically, and my son, they watch a lot of these YouTubers. My son likes to watch this guy that plays one of his favorite video games. My daughter likes this one family, I think in Australia. It's kind of reality TV, I would say, for kids, right? But what happens when the YouTube star and the people making the videos are not part of the same family? Where do child labor laws come in? So I'm going to show you the picture, and I've never heard of this person because it's not in my age demographic, but maybe some parents have. I'll show you a picture. This is Piper Rockelle. Piper Rockelle. And she is a YouTube star. According to the LA Times, she makes about $50,000 a month.
Wow.
Oh, actually, I got that wrong. She has earned up to, this is just obscene, though. This is obscene. I'm going to say this number, and I think that's why I was so shocked by it. She has earned up to $625,000 a month, sharing snippets of her world. She sings or dances, and according to the LA Times, she's not that great at it. Mostly her fans come for the soapy reality show fun that she has with her friends. So her friends are called the Squad, and they're suing her. In the suit, 11 former Squad members, including 2 of her cousins, which has to be awkward, claim they were frequently subjected to an emotionally, physically, and sometimes sexually abusive environment perpetrated by Piper's mom. And here's a picture of Piper and her mom. So there they are. Now, again, can I say that number? $625,000 a month, up to. I mean, she's made more or she's made less than that. But now, if you're a parent navigating this whole thing, I could see it happening. Now, according to the suit, Tiffany R. Smith, who denies the allegations, her on and off set behavior is what's part of the suit. Apparently, she would basically yell at them, scream at them. One plaintiff, or all the plaintiffs are minors, they allege in a lawsuit that Smith offered to show an 11-year-old girl how to perform oral sex, mailed Piper's underwear to men, pretended to be a raunchy version of the family's dead cat while inappropriately touching and harassing children. The former Squad members are seeking at least $22 million in damages, in large part because they claim that since leaving this group, the company that's behind Piper Rockelle conspired to tank their channels by engaging in a variety of dirty tactics that caused them to lose money. No hearings are scheduled until next year. Now, this is obviously a multi-million-dollar company. The Times investigation found that the mom did not pay the children who filmed the videos with their daughter. The children worked long hours without scheduled breaks or rest for meals. At what point should the government step into something like this? Now, on one hand, if I'm a parent, like my daughter likes to watch this one family, they're all family members. It's a mom, a dad, and their children. So that's one thing. But you start adding in cousins, you start adding in friends, which make up what everyone's watching the show for. That becomes a job. And even though it might sound fun to do all these little skits, and you're raking in that kind of dough, you can't be having these kids working around the clock or participating in skits that are deemed highly inappropriate.
No.
So who's at fault, though, Kim McAllister, as we were just talking about parenting? Is it Piper's mom that wants to rake in multi-millions? Where are these kids' parents? That's my question. I'm like, why are you letting your children participate in something like this? They had to have an on-set teacher that apparently wasn't teaching the kids. And Piper's mom's like, not my kids. Where are their parents? So who's at fault here? Who do you think is at fault here?
Oh, I'm it's going to be the parents. I mean, the parents have a responsibility to make sure their child is educated and safe. And if you're failing at that responsibility, then I'm sorry, that's on you.
Yeah, I mean, Kim writes in, that's an obscene amount of money. It is. But I mean, honestly, Google it. Google it. The amount of money some of these YouTube stars are making is obscene. Pardon me. So think about this. And we hear about this with, child movie stars and musicians, right? Oh, my parents stole all my money. You want to know why? Because your parent thought you were just farting around in your bedroom. Your channel took off. And oh my God, the amount of money that's coming in. Everyone has dreams of stuff like that. But when you're talking about kids and then other people's kids, I feel like there's a shared responsibility. If my daughter is always at her best friend's house making these skits, I'm well aware of the money that's being made. I'm assuming they're also being paid. They're teaching my child how to do it. I should have a role and a say in how this whole thing is happening. Now they're also saying there's some jealousy, right? They want to do their own channel perhaps. And so now they're trying to tank Piper's channel to kind of draw people away into them. I don't put much stock into that, but
like, I don't know, reality star scummy kind of.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I'm getting a lot of reactions here. Maybe the mom told the parents lies. Child exploitation for profits. Lock them up. It happens all the time. I mean, anytime you turn on a movie and you see a kid up there, they're getting paid, right? Every child musician.
Julia and Marley, our daughters, enjoyed each other so much and enjoyed the talk radio format at Station X that they had wanted to do a podcast, much like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I think we both were on board with that.
Oh, yeah.
As long as, it's appropriate.
It didn't get into anything else. Yeah.
School comes first, that type of thing. So I don't necessarily have a problem with people allowing their child, if the child wants to have a creative outlet in media. I think that's okay, but it has to be really closely managed because there's creepy people out there that are out for no good,
Yeah. And then many of the parents have accused the mom of violating labor laws, like I mentioned, but the mom questioned why she was being sued over an alleged lack of labor protections for minors. She said this, she says, I've always strived to comply with the laws and never considered myself an employer when kids get together voluntarily to collaborate on making videos. She questioned whether other parents had complied with labor laws on the videos their children made individually. For example, her attorney said, do all of these plaintiffs have a permit to employ minors while filming their own content? And this question, I think, really illustrates how quickly the medium like YouTube has changed what labor is, what work is, what an employer is, especially when kids are it comes easy to them. They just do this. They pick up their phone, they put up a video, they do all of this content, and then all of a sudden that content makes them some real money. And where do the parents fit into all of that when maybe they just don't have the skills or the expertise or the knowledge to do that? I'm going to follow this story though. It's very interesting. Again, here's a picture. I did pull a picture of the squad. These are just some of the members. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And you could tell. So that's Piper in the middle with that guy's arms around her. And you could tell. I mean, look at these kids. They're cute. They want to be stars. Kim
Not a very diverse cast.
Well, I wonder where they're based out of. I mean, not that should really, really matter.
Are they all family members or friends or what?
Well, no. Some of our two of our cousins that are suing her. And then I don't know. I don't have at least I can't find in the article real quickly. I can't find where they're from. But yeah, I mean, I could see how, when you get into this, there are. I'm assuming they're working long hours, right? They're having to do these videos. If the squad is what's making them money, if you're going to sue me over how I'm treating your kids, where were you when all of this began? Right. And, but that's a lot of money, $625,000 a month. Wow. Wow. All right. Well, if you're making big bucks or not even that much money, you need someone to tell you what to do with it, with tax write-offs, accounting, HR, if you have employees. He does it all. I mean, he does it all. And we are, of course, talking about our good friend and exclusive founding sponsor, Steve Moskowitz. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Thanks so much.
So
We have Rudolph. Whoa, we have the whole team here.
Yes, we're doing our holiday show, Steve, because we're off on Friday and Monday. And you could be like Santa, bringing people much relief as they prepare for the end of the year and, of course, tax season all year long.
That's right. And there's so much that you maybe just turning your back on. I see that over and over and over again. People spend all their time complaining that they're paying way too much in taxes,
of course,
and the big boys don't pay, and how come they have to pay? And the answer is because you're not doing tax planning, you're not taking advantage of the laws that are already on the books, and that's what we do. Like with pensions, there's so much we can do there, and I give clients the tough choice. Would you rather write a big check to the IRS or a smaller check to the IRS and a nice check for your retirement? And everybody says, oh, of course, I would rather write the smaller check to the IRS and that nice check to myself. And I said, do you have a pension plan? They say, no. I said, well, in reality, you chose to pay the IRS more and pay yourself nothing. That's just one example of so many things that may be readily available to people. It's there for the taking.
And there's never a moment where it's too late to do something like that. Like you might have started a business and not had to have everything lined up, but they can give you a call and you can walk them through all of the different things that they may need. They don't need someone, like you say, year round perhaps, but just to help them out here and there, right?
That's right. And with pensions, most things, if you want to write them off in 2022, you have to write the check by December 31st, 22. Not with pensions. With pensions, you have up to the time of filing the return plus extension, which for most people is either September or October of 23. They're deducting it then and still writing it off on the 22 tax return. There's just so much that can be done, Nikki.
You have such expertise, Steve. So I really urge people to give you a call. No problem is too big or too small for Steve Moskowitz. 888-TAX-DEAL or MoskowitzLLP.com. That's 888-TAX-DEAL or MoskowitzzLLP.com. Have a very happy holiday weekend, Steve. We'll talk next week.
You two guys, and both of you look great.
Thanks, Steve. Bye. Yeah. So definitely give Steve a call. He is the one to call to get all your tax planning and everything else done. Because I'll be giving him a call. Kim's giving him a call. People want to know what happens with your whole race between your husband doing the taxes and Steve doing it.
My Steve Moskowitz experiment. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I'll call him and set that up. By the way, I think are we done with news now? Because I do have a story I want to share with you.
Please share it. We're done. Let's go.
Okay, there's this story that the federal authorities based in Los Angeles have seized enough fentanyl doses to kill everyone in 7 California counties. I wanted to show you this picture. Look at it in candy boxes. Look at all those drugs. They seized 38 million deadly doses of fentanyl this year. They say it's enough to kill every resident in Los Angeles, Orange, Ventura, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara counties.
Wow.
Yeah, they've confiscated 7 million fentanyl pills, the folks with the FDA, more than 1,000 pounds of fentanyl powder in 2022, accounting for 10% of the drugs seized across the country. And they say, listen, as people prepare to celebrate the holidays and gather with friends and family, let us be mindful of the fentanyl threat destroying families across the nation, leaving empty seats at the dinner table this year. They say Los Angeles is a major transshipment hub for fentanyl and other drugs. We continue to see massive amounts of addictive drugs flooding our neighborhoods. The seizure, they say, represents tenacious efforts to make our communities safer.
Wow.
That picture really got me. Look at all those pills. That is a deadly amount of drugs. And it's in candy boxes. I mean, come on.
Well, that's how they're smuggling it, right? So that if they get pulled over, it's not as if it's being sold in a Whoppers box. That's a ton of drugs right there. And we have to, be mindful of. I love that you brought up the holiday season though with this because people sometimes they're straight and narrow, and then all of a sudden they'll go to a party. And that's the danger with stuff like this is one pill, can kill you. And it seems dramatic to say it, but that's what's happening.
That happened to a friend of mine. Her niece last year was a 21, 22-year-old girl home for the holidays. And when you're that age, you kind of get together with your old high school friends at home, right?
Mhm.
And so she went to gather with some friends. Someone brought some pills. And I don't know if she normally did that type of thing or not. Doesn't necessarily matter. She took
Right.
one of these and she died that night.
Oh god, that's awful. Well, the
I
thing
mean,
is that you could also think it's one thing and it's something else. So
yeah.
we've heard people, oh, I thought it was Percocet, or I thought it was ecstasy, right? I'm going to a club, or I'm going to go to a rave, or I'm going to go party, and they've done ecstasy, but it's not ecstasy. It's fentanyl. So that's the danger of this type of drug. And the problem that the DEA and the feds have been talking about is the people in other countries that are bringing this crap in, they can make it year round. It's not like poppy plants or, opium or something like that. There's no season of fentanyl. Okay. It can be made, and it can be made cheap. So I don't know how they're going to stop it. I really don't. It's not like you could burn up poppy fields and all of those sorts of things. It is something where it's going to be the onus is going to be on the drug user, right? Don't take the risk. It's not worth it. I would also say, fentanyl testing kits should just be commonplace. If because people it's kind of like sex ed, right? Yep. If people are going to take some drugs, some type of drugs, maybe they're not a drug addict, they just want to party or whatever, which some people may say means you're a drug addict. But if these things are going to happen, let people test it at least so they know what they're ingesting. Let people understand what they're putting in their body. Not that they should be putting illegal, terrible drugs in their body, but if they're choosing to make that, at least they know what it is and what it's not. So that's another way I think hopefully we can stop some of these deaths from happening. But there's also people that have built up a tolerance. And so they're just like, oh, well, I almost died, but I'm going to keep doing it. It's obviously someone with a drug problem. And it's just really, really sad.
So I feel like I've been kind of a Debbie Downer during this show. Like
not at all.
My kids crying. I'm talking about the fentanyl epidemic. So I'm just going to keep it on a roll.
Okay.
And talk about the fine people at.
Oh, I know. I read this headline. That guy, I swear. But
Merry Christmas.
People always get laid off around Christmas. It's because of the quarters.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
It
he got rid of
sucks.
an entire division, Mr. Musk, of the infrastructure division. The infrastructure division laid off via an emailed notice on last Friday night. The extent of the layoffs remain unclear, as to the severance of the workers. So, yeah, it's a key division at Twitter, and it was slashed just before Christmas. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I was reading this article about Twitter. Let me find it real quickly. It was funny. Any Tesla drivers out there that feel like they're being targeted by others because of how people feel about Elon Musk? Remember when it became like you don't wear real fur, and if people saw you wearing fur, they throw red paint at you or something to be like,
Right.
the animal died. There was an article, and someone was kind of comparing it in the comments to that. Are we going to get to the point where Elon Musk is such an ass and people hate him so much because of some of the things that he's done that Tesla owners are going to be targeted because they're supporting? I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like it's a bit of a stretch. How much do you know about the CEO of the person that manufactured your car? It's just that Elon Musk puts himself in the news so much. So, but yeah, some people are saying, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I don't agree with Elon, but I love my Tesla and I'm not giving it up. So
I do find myself at one point, I would see a Tesla and I would go, ooh, that's a cool looking car. And oh, that must be, a pretty expensive vehicle.
Right.
And now I kind of look at them and I'm like,
really? You really do? See, I don't care.
My sister has a Tesla and it's cool. Like it plays Christmas music out the speakers out of the car. I mean, it's a really cool car.
Right.
But I just think,
I can't afford it. I don't want it. Do I look at people, I don't know, Teslas are so everywhere, right? I mean, it just seems like you're really going to target all of these people for buying a very popular electric car. Yeah. I don't know. Don't target people for those sorts of things, although just don't commit a crime. How about that? We have about 15 minutes left of the show. And I want to raise this question that I raised to my husband. I only have one. My husband yesterday. So there was this story ABC7 did, and I want to show you this picture. This is one of my fears of when I give gifts like this. Okay. And I know it's not fair and it's not nice and I don't care. I'm just being honest because that's what I do. Where is the damn Oh, here it is. Okay. So this woman goes to a white elephant gift party at her office. And this is what happens. One of her tickets, first she hits $50, and then it hits $175,000. Okay, so listen to this story. So Lori James, that's the woman, works at Harnan Dental Center as the office manager. Her company holiday party featured a white elephant gift exchange where people have the opportunity to steal. We understand. So she picked a $25 TJ Maxx gift card, and she was disappointed when it got stolen. But then she chose another gift that had $25 worth of scratch off lottery tickets. Once it got to me, it was done. I was able to keep it. She says, that's what everyone was telling me to scratch them off. She won $50 on the first ticket. When she scratched off the $10 hit the jackpot ticket, she won the game's $175,000 top prize. Everyone was going insane. People were checking their calendars, scanning the ticket on the lottery's app. Now, you tell me, am I awful to say that I'd be pissed if I gave that gift? I would feel so dumb. I
never
just
do that.
would.
I mean,
I
no.
just would. I'd feel like, oh my God, I gave $175,000
So
up.
funny that I had this conversation with my best friend Jennifer yesterday. We were talking about things to put in stockings, and she goes, I get some, the jackpot's pretty high, like $500,000, whatever, for Mega Million. She goes, so I'll get some of those tickets and I'll put it in. She goes, and if anyone wins, I'll be pissed.
Yes.
Really pissed. And I was like, well, then why don't do that? If you're going to go buy the lottery tickets, keep them. She goes, I'm going to sign the back of them and say 50%. Whatever you win, I get halfsies.
Yeah, I know. Like part of you would. So if I won, right? I wouldn't be given half. I mean, thanks for the gift. Those are my tickets. But if I gave them, I'd be like, well, are you going to share with me?
They have no obligation to
No, they have no obligation. And so that's why I'm still looking for my wife.
That gave up the ticket. No.
I know. It would be so hard. I mean, I can't even imagine what my face would look like. I'd be like, hi, congratulations. Oh my God. I had $175,000 in my. What if they hit a bigger one? What if you did buy them a bunch of Mega Millions or Powerball tickets and they won?
No, never give lottery tickets. And then there's bad feelings, and there's anger, and there's animosity, and people get weird over money. So,
God,
don't give lottery tickets.
So okay, I'm still looking for the white elephant gift with my family. I have to go today. I mean, my brother arrives soon, so I got to figure it out. And I mean, we're doing it. We're going to do it Christmas Eve. So I have a couple of days too.
I have a really funny one. This is from, let's see if I can find it. CVS. They are selling these sock sets, these holiday sock sets.
Okay. I have a $30 limit. I mean, unless they're close to that, I'm going to need something else besides sock. Okay.
They're based on movies. So you can buy like a 12 elf socks, right? They have,
I see. Movie. Yeah.
But there's one, my mom will do Advent gifts through December for my kids. Every day they get like a little stocking stuffer.
How nice.
Over the top. So she buys all the stuff on sale from last year, and she bought these socks from the movie Christmas National Lampoon's Vacation, not realizing that the socks say jolliest bunch of a-holes. I mean, it goes on from there. So my 10-year-old nephew opens up this box of really profane socks. We have never laughed so hard.
Oh,
now
that's awesome.
Everyone's going to take a pair of socks and wear it to Christmas just to make fun of my mom for buying this box of socks. So if you can find National Lampoon's Christmas socks at CVS, that'll probably go over really well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if socks would go over well with my family. I mean, the truth of the matter is, I just have to like it. Because it's a white elephant gift. You don't, it's not like someone has to accept it. I just want it to be something that I would want. Now, I like socks. I don't know if everybody does. And I'm also thinking
really
about
funny socks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm because it's, me, my brother's family, my in-laws, and my parents. So a lot of adults, my brother and his wife. So 2, 4, 6, 8 of us. So I mean, I would hope that there would be something in there that people would like. I was going to do the scratchers, but then I read that story of that woman and all these terrible, awful, no good, not Christmas feelings were all piling up inside. And I was like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. I mean, at least it's family, but then it's just like, ugh, I'd be so. And Another thing to keep in mind, by the way, because I did this one year when I went to Arizona, is we got lottery tickets and they're scratchers. And if you leave without cashing them in, you're asked out. I mean, you have to mail them back and then they'd have to mail you the money because you cannot cash them in another state, obviously. So keep all that in mind. But Hillary Duff sent out her Christmas card. I don't know if you saw I don't know, our old friend, he's not old, but our friend Brian Pelletier said, he's like, I'm late on sending out cards. So he just kind of snapped a picture of it. I just wrote back, I'm like, I'm not sending cards. Here's Hillary Duff's card. And it says, all is not calm. Happy holidays. I don't know if you could see it there. It's a little small.
That's ominous.
Her kids are tied up with duct tape around their mouths. Or no, the parents are tied up with duct tape and the kids are the ones that are kind of ruling the roost, as they say. Yeah, I didn't do cards. Did you do your New Year's cards? Are you doing anything like that?
It's going to be New Year's cards. I failed at Christmas cards.
I'm not doing them. Yeah. I mean, I might, you know what? I might snap a cute little picture and throw it out there, but it's going to definitely be a New Year. Happy New Year card. Yes, I have to keep calling them that, by the way. You guys, if you're looking for something to give people for New Year's, because I'm not quite sure it'll get there in time for Christmas, although who knows, you could get some Nikki Knacks, not merchandise. Nikki Knacks. I forgot who said it, but Lori reminded me about it. Nikki Knacks, cups, totes, shirts, they're all available. Just go to my website, thenikkimedoroshow.com. There's a link there. You can go to the shop directly, thenikkimedoroshop.com, and you can get stuff there. But yeah, Christmas cards aren't happening this year. Again, I still have to get white elephant gifts. And you want to know, I'm just sharing all kinds of like end of close to the holiday season stories. I wake up this morning and when we got our tree, I purchased something that I've really wanted for years. I wanted one of those long funnels that you use to fill up the water in your Christmas tree, know, thing. Okay. Yeah. I'm always like under the tree and spilling water all over the place. Okay. So I get one. I think I've been a little overzealous with my funnel. So I filled it up. Obviously I filled it up when we got the tree, which was right after Thanksgiving. And then I filled it up again, like a couple weeks ago. So I went to go fill it up thinking, the tree drank all the water. I filled it up so much and I didn't know that it was spilling out all over the presents that we do have under the tree. So this morning I'm walking, I just filled it up and I'm stupid because I should have just bent down, but the funnel makes me not want to bend down. So I didn't bend down and check. I just assumed, and you know what that means. So I fill up the thing, I get a cup of coffee, and thank God I just looked down and I see this shininess by one of our mats that's over the electric cord for the Christmas tree lights so people don't trip on it. And I'm like, what is this? And I thought maybe it was sticky. And I'm like, did someone spill something? And I touch it and it's wet. It's like water. And I follow it all the way behind my tree. Thank God it was not lit because it was unplugged. Yeah. And all the presents, I mean, it wasn't very long. The bottoms of them were getting soaked with all this water. So now I got a big old mess that I have to clean up now. Don't get overzealous with the watering of the tree. I called my husband. He's all, Nikki, it's not like it drinks the water. It's just, it's not sucking it up like a flower or something. I thought my tree looked a little thirsty. So I just kept watering the damn thing. That I water. This thing is dying next to me and I can't ever remember to water that thing. So
I'm glad you caught it though. Were gifts wrecked?
Well, the wrapping was a little damp, but I dried it out. It'll be fine. David's Nikki Knack. Oh, hold on. David's Nikki Knack mug arrived yesterday. Where's my picture, David?
Oh, good.
Where's my picture? I want to see you with it. Take pictures this weekend when you guys get your stuff, please. I want to see you guys with it. Please. I absolutely want to. What did you want to say?
Oh, I was going to tell you that my husband has the funnel for the Christmas tree. But he does this weird thing where he puts a mixture of water and 7-Up.
Oh, I do that with my plants. I don't do it with the Christmas tree, but I always do that. Yeah, the sugar in the soda feeds the plant better.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I
do that.
Feeds the tree 7-Up. So there you go.
I never do on my Christmas tree though, but believe me, it's not thirsty. It's overflowing. And yeah, it is a funnel. It's long. It's like my funnel is probably this long, so I don't have to bend down. I just got to stick it in the hole of the stand, that holds the water. And that's what I liked about it. But that was my mistake. I needed to get down on my knees, put my hand in and see how deep the water was because I put like 4 cups of water in it. It was a bit too much.
Did you hear the Bay Area has a spare the air alert through Christmas Day now?
Oh, really? Don't be
Yeah,
lighting them
so
fireplaces.
there's the air alerts in effect through Christmas Day, so you can't burn any firewood, as you were saying, inside or outside. No outdoor fire pits, no pellet stoves, fire logs, wood stoves. We're in the unhealthy air quality range through Christmas Day in the Bay Area. So
There we go. And I know it's gonna they're dealing with this really terrible storm in other parts of the country. Flights, check your flights, because if you're flying out of California, where did I see it? San Francisco International, as of this morning, had 16 canceled flights. Oakland had 9. San Jose had 8, with dozens more delays. Thankfully, my brother's flying direct from Phoenix, so there shouldn't be any problem there. Because I was like, please don't be delayed. We don't get you for very long to begin with. Did you hear about that story out of Oakland where they forgot to load up 44 bags onto the airplane?
Well, so
They just left them behind.
It happened at a different airport, right?
Oh, it was bound for Oakland. That's right. From Washington to
So
Oakland.
44 people, their luggage is just left behind in some other state. I think it's
Right.
like New York or something. They get there and the airline's like, sorry, your bags didn't come. So at least they get money for incidentals and new things.
Yes.
But not a, happy Merry Christmas to you.
Well, exactly. Like, what was in those bags? How do you just leave 44 bags? I can understand, I guess, one, maybe it fell off the little thing, but 44 sounds like all of the bags just were not loaded up.
It's like one of an entire little truck's worth. They have those little mini trucks. that go out there.
No.
Like everything that was on that particular golf cart got left behind.
Yes, exactly. So, yes, I'm seeing in the chat. You could send it to Kim. You could send it to me, the pictures of you with your merchandise. I want to see the pictures. Are you, if you guys are watching anything over the holiday weekend, please let me know. I just started, and it came out in April, I heard, but it only crossed my suggestion feed recently, and you'll love it. Do you have Apple TV, Kim?
No, I just got
Oh,
HBO Max.
damn. That's right. You're one of those.
Like I'm very like thrifty on my TV spending.
Well, there is this series called Roar, 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 like R, Roar. It's on Apple TV, and it tells, I think it's about 8 stories about different women and what women go through from, being a mom, being a wife, but it's kind of, if you liked the Black Mirror, do you know what Black Mirror was? It was on Netflix. It's kind of like
that was kind of a tech
yeah, that was
show,
a tech story. So this is kind of, there's like gender bending stuff. Nicole Kidman's in it in one episode. They've got a great cast in a lot of these. If you're interested in something like that, and honestly, it's very well done. I mean, men will like it as well, but it's very woman type of obstacle focused. Very well done. Violent Night, which was the one with David Harbour that I was trying to get Tim Sika to watch. It's finally streaming, but you have to pay for it. So that's on our list to watch. My son was saying that we have to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas, that we do that every Christmas Eve. I didn't know we did that every Christmas Eve. I used to. Well, presents till 3:00 in the morning on Christmas Eve, but I took care of that.
That's my MO. That's what I do.
Yeah, I did it a couple days ago.
I just have to. We have to put the brakes on the show
Right.
and immediately go to what just happened in the chat. That was my reaction. Yeah.
Oh my God, Andreas, Santa Andy.
Yeah.
I am going to cry. I mean, you guys don't even understand, honestly, what this, and Kim, you put it perfectly earlier when you were saying it's a message to us as well, not in addition to the money, which we really do need. It's a message that you're liking the type of show that we're putting on. And I know that this can be the most off the wall, fly by the seat of your pants show ever, which is really what I like about the show. I like the fact that, Julia's daughter comes in and we have a whole nother conversation. I love you guys. Kim loves you guys. It is just something that we just need and need to do and need to interact and have these conversations. Allison, $81, day late and a penny short. Station X is the one losing out. You're both amazing and love putting a face with the voice. And most importantly, be able to stream on those days I can't listen live. Happy holidays. I love that.
Super cool.
I love it. Nick, thank you, Nikki and Kim. Have a wonderful holiday weekend with $20. Nick, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. We love you. Lori Dolly with $20. My gosh.
Really cool.
You guys have been so generous. Louise with $20. Merry Christmas, ladies. Merry Christmas to you, Louise. Janet R. also saw $100. Love your show. Be safe this holiday weekend. Let's give thanks to everyone. Put them all up there, Kim. This was from Michelle Crocker, donated several times during the show. $5. Loves the food segments. Send me ideas. Kim, you're going to get us a wine segment.
Yeah,
So
I'll do that.
maybe we can have the wine person tell us what wine to buy, since we're all in different locations, and we could try it together.
Yeah.
Nicotini, Harry, $5 for my drink. I'll be having a lot of those. Another one from Michelle talking about the food allergies. $5. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And aloha from Walter for $5. What do you say to Walter? What is the Hawaiian phrase that you use, Kim?
Oh, it's Mele Kalikimaka as Merry Christmas.
There you go. Michelle again reacting to Putin with $5. Michelle, you've been so many of you have been generous. I mean, God, I just can't believe it. You all so important to us every single day. I literally wake up to do the show for you guys. So does Kim. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, everything. Just celebrate and send me pictures, send Kim things as well. Go ahead.
We're grateful for every single person that shows up here to hang out with us every day.
I know.
For your comments, for your support, for just your presence here. I'm truly grateful and touched.
I love you, Kim McAllister. I
love you, Nikki Medoro.
I'm so grateful for you. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Don't beat Julia too much. I know you won't. I'm just kidding. You're not. You're not. Everybody that watches this show, believe me, knows that. I'm just kidding. Julia's going to be fine. Yeah. She's an amazing kid. So is Jacob, who you'll hear sing in just a moment. But from my house to the McAllister household to all of your households, Merry Christmas. And we will talk. I'll be back live on Tuesday again. Sign up for our Patreon. I'm posting a special video on there. I'll have some YouTube shorts over the next couple of days. So look out for that. And I love you all. And please be safe this holiday season. Mwah!
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.